All right. Hi, Amber. Nice to meet you. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start this session off by telling you a little bit about myself. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So, a little bit about my educational background. I'm a sophomore at Pfeiffer University. I have a double major in communications and human services with a minor in English. Um, as far as counseling goes, I don't have much background, but I have taken a lot of classes in psychology and human services that allow me to get the basic knowledge of counseling qualities. Um, I do work in the Francis Center at Pfeiffer, so I'm really working with a lot of people all the time. I enjoy working with people, so I'm here for you and I'm here to help you. As far as limits on confidentiality go, I don't have much confidentiality in these sessions because I am working in a classroom setting and I'm under the supervision of Dr. Belmore. The first one is if I know that you're going to harm yourself. The second one is if I know you're going to harm another person. And the third one is if I have notion to believe that you know of a minor currently being abused or neglected.
Okay.
So anything you say in these sessions may or may not be used in the classroom, but I do have to get your permission first before I share some personal information that will be said in the sessions. Um, as far as HIPAA goes, I'm not licensed, so I won't be taking any records today. And as far as the fees for the session, it's free of charge. So if you want to go ahead, we can jump right into the session. So after telling you all about that, how do you feel today about this session? Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I was pretty nervous. The last 4 days I've been like really sick. I went to the doctor on Monday and he told me I had a viral upper respiratory infection, and there was nothing he could do for me. He couldn't give me any medicine or anything. But he said that it like mimics the flu, so I had all the flu symptoms without having the actual flu. And so I missed 4 days, no, 3 days of school on account of that. And I had been like super backed up on assignments, and I was like, oh my goodness, because I'm usually really caught up with my assignments. With Dr. Belmore's class, I had a case study due on Friday, which I got that turned in, and then she like posted all the like revisions and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now how am I gonna get this done on time? Um, but then I'm pretty caught up now. I'm starting to get some other assignments for like the counseling reflection due and all that good stuff, getting it done.
So what you're saying is you're normally pretty well kept up on your studies.
Yeah. I usually have all my studies done on time.
Okay. So how does school how does that play a role in your life? Is it really big in your life?
Yeah, school is actually really important to me. My brother Adam is a lawyer in Raleigh. He went to law school at Campbell University, and my sister has her PhD in microbiology, and she works in California. So like my whole family is just wrapped around going to college and stuff. So I felt like I had very high standards to get here.
Okay, so a lot of your family's in the medical field.
No, not really. My sister does more like soil samples and stuff like
Oh,
that. She
okay.
travels a lot. She went to Puerto Rico. Well, actually, her job sends her to Puerto Rico like every week to do samples on their stuff.
Okay, so what is your major? What are you doing in school?
I am a psychology major, doubling with human services because I was biology major, but I don't really know where I'm going now because biology just kind of tended to not be my path. It just wasn't really what I wanted to do anymore. Once I started taking classes, like, yeah, this is not me.
Okay, so are you like better off in psychology and human services? Do you enjoy that more?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot more. It's more like biology is very people because you know medical field and stuff, but I feel like psychology is more getting to know people and getting to like dig into their minds, and I like that a lot.
Okay, so have you like struggled in the past maybe with like connecting with people or like in social like events or things like that?
Not really. I've always been pretty like a social butterfly, as what my mom calls me. I always just talk to everybody. Um, I did student government when I was in high school, so I was like the student body president. So I was always talking to everybody.
Okay. So with this psychology and human services major, what do you want to do in the future with that?
Oh Lord, honestly, I don't know. I've been doing some research. I'd kind of like to work with people that are doing like substance abuse, like older people. Try to figure out what's triggered them to go that far. What they're doing with their lives. I don't really know. That's kind of where I'm at right now, though.
Okay, so I noticed a little bit of hesitation whenever I asked you what you want to do. So I'm guessing that you don't have a clear path for that.
No, not really. I've been doing some research, but it's hard to figure out where I want to go next because I was like dead set on being a cardiologist for like since middle school. So I'm not really sure where I'm going now.
So, does that make you feel nervous or like stressed out for the future?
Oh my gosh, yes, my boyfriend, he's always like, so what do you want to do when you graduate? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be here.
So you mentioned you have a boyfriend. Have y'all been together for a while?
Yeah, we've been together right at 2 years.
Okay. So, and how long have you been in school?
This is my second year at Pfeiffer. I'm a sophomore here.
Okay, so you guys have been together since you were in high school, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like the last month I was in high school.
Is that like a big part of your life, your relationship with your boyfriend?
It is. He does so much for me. Like he's very like mechanical savvy, and my car always has problems. Like I've got a 2010, but it's like struggling hard. And he's always like, "Let me just fix it." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna try to jump into something different here. Um, so do you have any other relationships in your life that you're really connected to?
My store manager. I'm third key manager at shoe department, and I love my store manager. She actually hired me like on the spot when I walked in there one day. She was like, "Can I hire you?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course you can." um, and she like has been going through a lot with her granddaughters. Her son signed over rights to them, so like the baby mama is very hard to get along with and treats the little girls like dirt. So she's been trying her best to get them, and I just respect her a lot.
Hmm.
Can't talk today.
Okay, so you mentioned that you worked at where?
Shoe department.
Shoe department. Okay, so tell me a little bit about that job, what you do, like your hours and things like that.
I typically work about 38 hours a week. I'm full time. My job's pretty easy. We don't really get a lot of business. The hardest day we have is on Tuesdays. We do truck day, but they give me Tuesdays off just because I go to school full time and stuff. And I'm sales manager, so I do a lot of the cash register and count the money and accounting. But other than that, I just help people on the sales floor find the shoes they're looking for.
Okay. Do you ever find yourself like maybe overworking or really stressed out because you have so many relationships and then your work and then school studies and things like that?
All the time. I am constantly like, oh my God, what do I have to do next? Do I go to work? Do I go to school? Like, trying to figure out where I need to be because a lot of times we do take our work home just like from the stress of the day.
Mhm.
And then you're like, okay, I have an assignment that's got to get done. And there's like a million things running through my mind. I'm like, I can't do this.
So, do you have like a good support system that helps you through like all of this?
Oh, yeah. I've got a lot of friends that are also like here. And then my boyfriend, he's got like an office set up at his house where I can go in and do my work just to get quiet. And my parents, they're very supportive of my schooling.
Okay. So, I'm guessing that are you a commuter?
I am.
You're a commuter?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that play a part in your life? Do you find yourself struggling a little bit being a commuter? Do you get involved, things like that?
I'm in the Human Services Club here at Pfeiffer, but I don't really get involved a whole lot. I'm trying to get my Pfeiffer Life credits now.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to do it, but I don't regret being a commuter. I do like being able to do my own thing, you know? So I think that helps. And I feel like living on campus is wonderful, but I do like my personal space and my bedroom
Mhm.
and stuff, so it kind of worked out.
So I noticed you mentioned you like your personal space. Are you more introverted or do you think you're extroverted?
I think I'm more introverted, but I do like to get out and socialize. But like it's like I have this weird cutoff. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I want to
Yeah.
go to bed now.
Okay, so let's see. So as far as the school aspect goes, do you like the environment at your school? Do you think it plays a positive role in your life?
Yeah, I've never met anyone here that I didn't like. I mean, I don't socialize a lot with the people on campus. A lot of my friends are commuters, so we all do stuff like outside of campus. But I've never met anybody here at Pfeiffer that was rude to me. So
Yeah. You mentioned that your parents were a pretty big like support system in your life. Tell me a little bit more about that. What do they do in your life?
well, I've always been a lot closer with my mom than anybody because my dad moved out when I was 9 to live with my grandma because she was really unhealthy.
Hmm.
He's just recently moved back in now that she's passed. But me and my dad are starting to get a lot closer. Last year, he found out he had cancer. So we've been real close since then because I'm always wanting to spend my time with them when
Mm.
I'm not here and at work. Um, so they just, I don't know, we're all really close knit family. So, and I have four siblings too that are
Oh,
also
okay,
big
wow.
supporters. Yeah,
Okay, so with your grandma's passing away and your dad getting cancer, did that add a lot of like stress to your life?
it did. Me and my grandma were real close. She was like my best friend. So her passing away was really hard for me. But I know that she was like struggling, so it makes me feel better that she's not anymore.
Hmm. So I'm trying to see if I can find a connection here. Do you think that with like this human services and psychology major that you're maybe like living through your grandma or your grandpa like in a way?
Oh, absolutely. My grandma was a genealogist, so she loved people. She loved like DNA and learning people's ancestry and stuff. And she actually was very influential. She was in a lot of like clubs and stuff like that. The president of a lot of things. She has people from Scotland that still send her mail, trying to get them to trying to get her to bring up their lineage. And so I'm trying to kind of take up some of that. She has tons of like she has shelves and shelves of books and stuff where all of the stuff is. I'm like, okay, Grandma, you gotta help me find this stuff because I don't have a clue where this is.
So do you think that like you enjoy like following in your grandma's footsteps? Have you like picked on some of the things or picked up on some of the things that she like used to do?
Yeah, with her genealogy, I'm actually in some of her club now. So I'm secretary of Magna Carta Danes and Barons, which was my grandma's favorite thing to be in. And they just like literally meet once a year. It's like a bunch of like older people that just sit around and talk all the time, but they have bigger roles. I'm just not in them yet. So I just go to the meetings.
Do you find yourself staying in these meetings for like a long time?
About 2 hours, but well, for meeting, and then I kind of feel like I'll be in them for a while. I hope to be anyway.
Did your do you think that your dad and your grandma kind of like intertwined with each other? Are they like the same person?
Yeah, my dad is just like my grandma. Like every time I look at him, I see my grandma written all over him. He was a lot like my grandpa though when he passed. My dad just looks exactly like my grandpa but acts like my grandma. So
Okay. Um so I noticed you mentioned you had siblings, and you said you had four of them, correct?
I do.
Okay, so are they all living in the house at the moment?
No, my two oldest brothers, they have their own families. They're living on their own. And my sister lives in California, and my youngest brother lives in Raleigh. My sister is actually getting married in May, so we're all having to fly to California to go to her wedding, which is a lot of work, by the way, because I'm the maid of honor, so I'm also like planning the wedding.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay, so you said that your two brothers have their own families,
Mm-hmm.
yes? Um, so I'm guessing they have kids?
Yes, I have three nephews and a niece.
Okay, so how does being an aunt like play like a role in your life? Like how do you honor that? Do you value that?
I do. Me and my oldest nephew, he's 13. We're really close. He's always calling me and he's like, Amber, can you like come help me? I need help with something. Can you take me somewhere? I know that like he feels like he can rely on me and that's important to me a lot.
Do you get to see them a lot?
Oh yeah, they only live like 15 minutes from my house. And I have my youngest nephew who's 2. His name's Zachariah and he is cute as a button. I'm always over there playing with him. So they play a big role in my life.
So you seem like you have a pretty good family life, pretty good home life, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Has there ever been a time where you felt like you were maybe losing sight of your family or not being like as connected?
When my dad first found out that he had cancer, I think I was in denial a lot. So I spent more time out hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. And I was like, why in the world did I do that? But he's on like the upswing now. So I've been like home a lot and trying to spend more time with him. But for a little while, I was like, what am I doing out here? I need to be at home.
Yeah. Um, do you think that like that was a learning lesson for you and that you like matured from that?
Absolutely. Because I think I was like, right, I had just turned 18 and I
Mm,
was like, I gotta have freedom. So I was like, he's
yeah.
not really sick. But then I learned he really was.
Yeah. So did some of this happen whenever you were in high school or did this just recently happen?
It happened the summer after I left high school. So, like, my graduation year and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever find yourself not like wanting to go to college or maybe like held back on it because a lot of things were happening in your life?
No, I was actually still gun ho at going to college. My dad would have never wanted me to do anything different, so it makes him happy that I'm here. So,
Okay. Well, I really enjoyed our session today. I think our time is up. But I'm really glad you came today, and I'm happy that you were interested in coming to counseling with me.
yes, for sure.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.